Καλώ στο βήμα τον Troy Biller, που έρχεται από τις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες της Αμερικής. Είναι General Manager στην εταιρεία Future Commerce Initiative και συμβουλεύει επιχειρηματίες για τον ψηφιακό μετασχηματισμό των επιχειρήσεών τους. Troy, you have the floor.
Thank you. Hello, Kalimera. It's an honor to be here with you and to share the stage after your Prime Minister, truly. I'd like to start out my talk on commerce-changing digital technologies with a big picture view of how commerce has been changing around the world and evolving. For many years, I think we're all very familiar with how markets move from the traditional trade to more organized trade, from independent stores to chain retail. And in the 1990s, we saw the emergence of e-commerce marketplaces with Amazon in the US, Alibaba in China, and with those e-commerce marketplaces came two things. The first thing is in order to sell and fulfill products in a new way, they needed a new digital infrastructure, and as importantly, they needed a new physical infrastructure. The second thing that came about is for consumers. You had new standards of convenience, of speed and access to product, to the assortment, new information on price, and other product attributes that really created these new standards for what retailers expected of retailers, both digital and physical retailers. But the most important thing to keep in mind is that these e-commerce marketplaces evolved into businesses that made money in a very different way than the chain retailers that came before them. The best example that we've seen of this is how Alibaba from China presents itself. Yes, they have e-commerce marketplaces displayed here under core commerce. Importantly, they are multi-marketplace. They have a marketplace that has global reach. It's called AliExpress. So no matter if you're sitting here in Athens or in Buenos Aires, Argentina, you can access product from that marketplace. They have business-to-business marketplaces. As a store owner, you can order product by the case or by the shipping container load and have it delivered to your store in your market. They have large-scale media businesses where they can sell advertising. But as retailers in the room, what I really want you to pay attention to is the bottom half of this screen. These are the businesses that the marketplaces have built to first support their sales, support their marketplace. But the unique thing that they've done is that they offer these as services to other retailers. They sell them as service so other retailers can leverage the same logistics networks, the same cloud services, the same payment systems that run their businesses. And Amazon has an ecosystem as well that looks similar to Alibaba's. Key to Amazon's non-merchandise sales has been Amazon Web Services, where they say you as a retailer can get the same search capability that Amazon has, known as some of the best product search capability, the same recommendation engine that Amazon has, so the personalization that they provide. You as retailers could tap into that and use these services. You don't have to create them yourself. They're available to you. But what I want to tell you is that these platforms, these marketplaces, have very different business models. They are not the same. As you can see here on this slide, Amazon still sells a large portion of product first person, meaning in a sense they're competing against you. In contrast, Alibaba is built to facilitate commerce between parties. And you can see that how their revenue is made up by facilitating commerce, not selling products themselves. And if you think about the products that Amazon sells, first-party sales, increasingly those products are private label. So they see margin opportunity in products and they bring it into their business. Now let's take a look at the way that Alibaba is deploying technology in the in-store environment, and then we'll talk a little bit about what that means to you as retailers. I'm going to play a short video here.
Well, Alibaba has effectively digitized the entire grocery shopping experience.
Keeping with Alibaba's business model, this technology is not only for their own stores. They have made this technology available to a 2,000 store chain in China called RT Mart. The technology and the physical infrastructure that they've made available has allowed that retailer to not only compete, but thrive in the Chinese marketplace where consumers have these expectations of product delivery. So I hope by now you're picking up that the store, while the Hema store had experience to it, it was really set up as the store being a fulfillment node to get product delivered to the consumer. Now, Alibaba's technology is not only for big box and chain stores. They are also enabling the small, independent, convenience stores to modernize and digitize as well. Let's take a look at this short video to see how they're doing that.
In China, convenience stores...
So with a low cost but application heavy point of sale system, these independent retailers are able to gain insights and technology that is on par with large scale retailers. In the video, hopefully you picked up a few things. The store owner now has greater insight into what those in his community are buying and can access recommendations for products to put in the store based on what those consumers want. You'll notice that Alibaba is also supplying them with product now. So this is not a capital intensive transformation for these small and independent retailers. They're in a sense renting Alibaba's capabilities and accessing Alibaba's supply chain to improve their retail operations. It's quite interesting. We brought a convenience store retailer to China that is in a market that is still largely independent and traditional trade. And when we asked Alibaba, what should that retailer see from you? What capabilities would you want them to know about? This was one of them. And they have 5,000 of these stores deployed across the country with a goal of getting to 1 million. So it's working in China and it's helping independent retailers. Now, when sales move online or digital orders become more prevalent, many think the reaction should be, I need more experience in my store. I need to entice the consumer to come in. But if you think about the way the consumer is going to want to shop, increasingly, it might not be browsing your aisles or even stepping in the store at all. So I would like to offer you a new way to think about your strategy for your future store. I would encourage you to think about the physical layout that you need for the way that your consumer wants to shop. Think about how your store can be a fulfillment node to provide the product the consumer is seeking in the way that that consumer wants to acquire that product. Think about the technology layer that you need to enable your business for the next generation of commerce here in Greece. There's a progression to this. You don't have to go all the way to the automated fulfillment pick center that you saw at the end of the Hema video, the Homa video. Retailers in China are setting up these small pick rooms in their stores, enabling their associates with scanners. And with this, they're able to receive and fulfill orders in the store within 5 minutes, enabling them to guarantee neighborhood delivery in under 30 minutes. So there's a progression to all this. There's also a blueprint out there for you as retailers. You do not have to invent what technologies you need They can be acquired from platforms such as Alibaba and sometimes Amazon, or other technology providers. So as we look at the technology that's being deployed in stores, you'll see new point of sale systems that are cashierless and are enabled by AI to do things like very rapid credit checks, or see if a consumer did not scan an item across that cash register. The associates are being enabled to do fulfillment in the store in a very efficient manner, as well as to provide superior customer service. The total store is being equipped with things like cloud computing, as well as edge computing, which is needed for very fast decisions at the store level. And then the level of automation and technology you need in your fulfillment can vary by how many orders you're doing per day. On the shelf, things like digital shelf tags that can provide information to consumers about where that product came from, or can seamlessly change the prices across the store depending on market conditions. And lastly, forms of digital customer service, kiosks that serve to help the consumer and allow your employees to do more value-added tasks. So early feedback from these automated stores. One analysis shows that by deploying these digital capabilities and thinking strategically about the layout at your store, you can achieve sales growth of 5 to 10%. This example is from the Amazon Go store, which was featured in that opening video, while at the same time reducing your cost by 2 to 4%. So I hope that you found something in this talk that's helpful to you. I look forward to talking with each of you more after this if you have questions when I come off the stage. And my colleague Dan O'Connor will be up at the end of the day to talk more about the capital changes and talent changes that you'll need to think about. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yes, you can sit down.